just a little bit of tomato paste to give it a little bit of a thickness, of which width I am down. Welcome to Mythical Kitchen, where dreams become food. Sorry, sometimes I struggle controlling the volume of my voice when I get nervous. Today's video is brought to you by Kroger brand, where awesome meets affordable. Kroger brand products are made to exceed expectations at an affordable price, and also they just taste great. All the Kroger brand products we're using today can be found at your local Kroger family store. Today we are making a Tater Bite chili bowl, and you might be asking yourself, what the heck is a Tater Bite chili bowl? Here's my theory. If you would serve chili in a bread bowl, and I hope you do, you should also want to serve it in a giant bowl made from tater tots. So that is exactly what we're going to do, and we have broken the recipe down into 3 easy steps. You can snag the time codes right there. Let's get cooking. I've made tater tots from scratch before, but it is so much easier to just use Kroger brand Tater Bites. They're delicious, they bake up awesomely crispy, and they are perfect for shaping into a bowl. So let's get to that. All we're gonna do is rip open the bag with a fork. You have to rip open the bag with a fork. That's key to the recipe. These come frozen, but we have actually just let them come up to room temperature just to give us a little bit more malleability with them. Tater malleability levels need to be at least 95%, otherwise this recipe isn't gonna work. I'm taking a bit of inspiration from my Jewish heritage, and we're doing this latke style. You take shredded potatoes and you mix them with a little bit of egg and flour to make sure we can really hold it in the bowl shape when we fry it. And then I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of flour, and there's already a lot of great oil in those tots and some good salinity, so we're not gonna add any more salt to it. And then just about 2 tablespoons of water, just to kind of turn this into a little bit of a dough. You want this to be like a completely smooth mixture, but the potatoes are still really gonna hold up, and when you fry them, they're gonna fry up awesomely crispy and be a bowl, which is my favorite part of this recipe. I love these cooking projects that turn into this architectural project, because when I was a kid, I was really terrible at building blocks and those little projects in school where they gave you marshmallows and toothpicks and they're like, build the highest tower you can, and mine would be like 1.5 inches, and I'd be like, I'm sorry. Can I still go on to the next grade? And they were like, we don't think that's a good idea, Josh. You never learned to read. And I was like, listen, 8th grade's hard. You're eventually gonna get impatient, and you're gonna wanna go in there with 2 forks. Just mash her up good. The idea behind a bread bowl, right, is that you're sucking the chili out of it. People don't suck chili, that's a weird thing. The great thing about a bread bowl is you eat the chili or whatever soup is in it, and yes, chili is indeed a soup, and then you're left with the chili-stained bread that you can just scoop out and eat with your hands. And so that is the exact experience we're going for with this. This is almost like a deconstructed, then reconstructed chili cheese tots in a bowl shape. The bowl has been wrapped with plastic wrap, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of oil. You can use nonstick spray, you can use literally whatever, just to kind of give it a little bit of lubricative action. And then we're gonna take our hands and just smear the oil all around that plastic wrap. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pack the Tater Bites into the bowl. We're gonna create a large divot. It's gonna form around the outside of this. I'm setting my intentions. This is called setting your intentions. I love tarot. And then we're gonna freeze the bowl, and then we're gonna gently remove the tater bowl from it. The oil's gonna help it unsheath, and then we're gonna fry it. Always lube up your hands with a little bit of oil when you're working with tater bite dough. And then you're just gonna take a lot of that and just pack it into the plastic wrap. Use your hands to mash the taters around the bowl. Really try and smooth it out. We want some good uniformity here. I take this seriously, okay? This is my arts and crafts time, all right? I don't make my own scented candles. I make tater bowls and sell them on the internet. Please go to taterbowl.tater.org /Tater Bowls by Josh. That's a registered trademark. Actually, no, I don't think the patent office would give me that one. What we have here is our tater bowl, and we are going to wrap this in plastic and get it in the freezer for 3 hours. Then we're gonna unsheath it, drop it in the deep fryer, and you're gonna have your perfectly crispy Kroger brand Tater Bite bowl. Woo! No, I like my chili meaty. That's why I am using Kroger brand shaved steak. It's savory, it's delicious. It is going to add some awesome texture to our chili. So I'm gonna start by just getting 2 tablespoons of oil, heating in a pan. Another great thing about the Kroger brand shaved steak is that there is no prep required. It comes in these awesome thin ribbons that are perfect for something like a Philly cheesesteak. Look how thin that is. There's some great marbling in there. And we are just going to add it to our hot oil. You wanna make sure your oil is very hot, because we wanna get some good browning on this. And when we break it up with a spoon, it's gonna cook down super nice and tender, and it is gonna be absolutely delicious in the chili. While the beef is sauteing, what we're gonna do is add all our spices to it, because we want to get, there's just beef particles floating in the air. This is my favorite aroma in the morning. They need to turn this into a candle. This is a fantastic smell. So we're gonna go salt. We're gonna add our chili powders. We're going New Mexico chili powder. We are going Chipotle chili powder. And then this is where it becomes a 5-alarm chili. I don't exactly know what the alarm system is. 3 alarms seems to be the top, but we're gonna go a little over the top with habanero powder. If you don't have habanero powder, you can totally substitute with cayenne. I love using habanero powder. It's a fantastic product. You can already see the beef breaking up, turning nice and brown. That's fantastic. All right, so once those spices have gotten nice and toasty, we are going to add our vegetables. I like to keep it really simple with chili. I'm simply going fresh jalapenos for spice and that little bit of like greeniness. And then we're gonna add some onion to it, just a little bit of tomato paste to give it a little bit of a thickness, of which width I am down. The thickness of which width I am down is also going to get a little bit of garlic in there. We got a little bit of oregano. We got some white pepper. We got some black pepper. And then we have a little bit of granulated garlic. Why would you add granulated garlic if you already put fresh garlic in there? No, I actually like the dried flavor of garlic as well. And with chili for me, I really like when you get all of these toasty spices working in there, because this is all gonna cook together for so long that it's just become like super deep and complex and beefy, and it's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. And look at that, like as opposed to using something like ground beef, which so many people have had the canned chili that has the ground beef in it, this recipe is super, super quick. And look how that beef just like breaks up. We got all that nice and sauteed. You can see the onions have softened. So now all we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a quart of chicken stock. You can also use beef stock. For me, chicken stock's just always a safe bet. Let's take a little bit of cornstarch, add water to it. This is called a slurry, the most appetizing name in the chili business. So we're gonna add the slurry in there, and that is just going to act as like a kind of thickener and emulsifier. It's gonna bring all the elements of the chili together. It's gonna get nice and thick. You can already see it acting a little bit. And then we're just gonna toss a bay leaf in there because you probably got one somewhere in your kitchen. We're gonna let this boil for another 20 minutes. That's just gonna reduce it down, get it nice and tight. You want a good, nice, tight chili to go in those tater bowls. Hey, speaking of tater bowls, hard cut. We got the tater bowls, and these have been kind of par frozen, right? Like they're not fully solid, but they are very malleable. And so when we take them out of their plastic cocoon, you will see we have a perfectly shapen bowl. Now you could serve this frozen with some of the hot chili inside, be like a nice little like, you know, hot fudge and ice cream combination. But instead, I think we should deep fry it to get it crispy again. Always be safe when you're deep frying at home. I always like to use a splatter guard just in case you get any moisture in there and it's gonna splash back at you. Just pop the lid on top of that right now. And so this is a little bit of a tricky frying conundrum because you have a bowl shape. So all I'm gonna do is dip it down like this, let the oil submerge, and then the lid goes on top, and then it's just a quick little 4-minute fry. We're gonna pull it out, drain the oil, and then gonna be a nice and crispy tater bowl that's gonna go underneath our chili taters. Oh yeah, this is indeed a bowl made of taters. The oil fills the middle, but that's actually great because it's gonna deep fry it all the way around. This is looking pretty good. I want it a little bit crispier, and I wanna make sure that all the potatoes are completely cooked through. So we gotta put it back in. This is fantastic. Having to like find the buoyant tensile strength of a tater bowl, this is science. All right, so we have our tater bowl all crispy fried and plated up, and now we need to get that chili in it. Look at this chili. After it's fully reduced, all that beef just breaks up. It's gonna be super, super tender and delicious. And so we're just gonna take the chili and we're gonna ladle it right into the tater tot bowl. This is wild. This gets me so excited. This is the reason I get up in the morning, that and alarm clock. So the idea is you wanna fill this all the way to the brim, and then you're gonna gradually eat down the chili levels, and then also eat the sides of the actual container that it's in. It's like the gum with the edible wrappers, except way better because it's a 3-pound bowl of chili. We gotta get some garnishes on there. You could throw anything on there. You could throw absolutely nothing on there. What I'm gonna do is just get a little layer of sour cream. It's gonna temper the heat because remember, this is a 5-alarm chili. Not 3 alarms, not 6 alarms, but 5. 6 would be, that's too much. So just gonna get a couple little dollops of sour cream on there. Uh-oh, is this gonna overflow the bowl? Yep. We're living dangerously, okay? When you're making 5-alarm chili in a tater tot bowl, you gotta live a little bit dangerously. Get some of that on there, get a little bit of cheese. This is how I like to eat my chili. I might put some crackers on there normally, but we're gonna put a couple extra little tater bites on there for garnish. And then some green onions just for that little freshness and crunch. Put the finishing garnish on there, and there is your final tater bite chili bowl. I cannot freaking wait to dig into this. After smelling fried potatoes and boiling chili all day, which again should be scented candles, you have no idea how much I'm looking forward to eating this right now. So we're gonna dive right in there. All right, we gotta navigate our way through the garnishes, get a little bit of sour cream and cheese. Then I'm gonna dig up some taters from the bottom of our tater bowl. Oh yeah, you can feel the taters resisting against this fork. There we go. And right down the hatch. You get that softness from the crispy tater bites that have soaked up all that chili, and that is spicy. That is 5 alarms. That could even be a 6 alarm chili if you really want to go on technicalities. The beef is super, super tender. After it cooks down and really braises and all that liquid, it just like melts in your mouth. The taters are fantastic, and I can't wait to eat the rest of that tater bowl. And thanks again to Kroger brand for sponsoring this video. Remember, you can grab all these awesome and affordable ingredients in your local Kroger family store. And thank you so much for stopping by the Mythical Kitchen. We got new recipe videos out every week, new episodes of our podcast out every Wednesday. Hit us up on Instagram at Mythical Kitchen with pictures of your mythical dishes under hashtag DreamsBecomeFood. We'll see you next time. Get as messy as you want in your kitchen when you have the Mythical Kitchen Towel. Available now at mythical.com.